This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. A gas station in Mahnomen caught on fire earlier this evening. According to the Mahnomen Volunteer Fire Department, a fire started at the Cynics convenience store and spread through the roof. More than 5 emergency response teams from neighboring towns provided mutual aid. Currently, there's no word on any injuries. Stick with Valley News Live as we continue to follow this developing story. Meanwhile, a judge recently ordered Jack Glosser to preserve relevant evidence and to comply with subpoenas. Glosser is the Mandan man involved in the legal disputes after suddenly shutting down his photography business, Glosser Images, back in October. In a hearing last week, the state asked for the order, citing concerns that information requested from Glosser's websites and social media accounts appeared to be incomplete or missing. Glosser's attorney argued that there had not been adequate time to comply with the state's requests and the websites had been disabled, not destroyed. Thursday, the judge ordered Glosser to take all necessary steps to preserve the sites. The Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library has agreed to take a controversial equestrian statue of the 26th president that has stood on the steps of the American Museum of Natural History in New York City since 1940. The bronze statue, which depicts the former president on horseback with a Native American man and an African man flanking the horse, has been the subject of years of criticism that it symbolizes colonial subjugation and racial discrimination. Objections grew more forceful after the death of George Floyd sparked a racial reckoning and a wave of protests across the U.S. The library is set to open in 2026 in Medora and will be getting the statue as a long-term loan. More than 50 flights were halted at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta this afternoon after a gun was accidentally fired near the main security checkpoint. The loud bang caused a few moments of panic, with the passengers ducking for cover. According to the TSA, an agent noticed a prohibited item in a bag. The agent told the person who owned the bag to step aside as they conducted their inspection. The passenger, quote, lunged into the bag and grabbed a firearm, at which point it discharged. The passenger then ran out of the area. A warrant has now been issued for his arrest. No injuries have been reported from the incident, according to investigators. This afternoon, protesters took to the streets in Milwaukee as a result of the non-guilty verdicts on all charges in the Rittenhouse case. Many held signs and chanted to express their disagreement with the verdict. A protest was also held last night in Kenosha outside the courthouse. Other rallies in New York, Chicago, and Oakland, California also took place after Rittenhouse was found not guilty on all 5 felonies he was charged with for the deaths of 2 men and wounding of another during a night of violent protests in Kenosha last year. Anthony Hubert was one of the men killed by Rittenhouse. His father spoke out today during an interview, citing the fight is not over after Rittenhouse was acquitted for his son's murder.
We're still in shock here, you know. That guy gets to run free, and he's now a hero. And this is my son right here. This is Anthony. We lost our son, and there's no justice right now for our family, and there's no closure. And there wasn't going to be justice in that Kenosha court with that judge.
Huber said preparations for a civil suit are underway in connection to the killing of his son. House Democrats are celebrating Friday's passage of a sweeping $2 trillion social spending bill. Now it moves to the Senate, where the razor-thin Democratic majority leaves no room for error. The $1.75 trillion bill includes money for expanded Medicare, prescriptions, drug reform, universal pre-K, and hundreds of billions to fight climate change. But some of those measures might not survive the Senate, which will get to make changes before kicking it back for a final time to the House.
We're pretty solid at this point, and there's no reason why this bill couldn't pretty much come back from the Senate with some minor changes.
Like the infrastructure bill, the Build Back Better plan has no Republican support. So the White House will have to find a way to get all 50 Democratic senators on board if they want to pass the Senate. Former President Donald Trump is set to publish his first book since leaving office. It is a collection of photos from Trump's 4 years in the White House. Trump describes them as a collection of unforgettable moments, including battling liberals on 2 impeachment witch hunts. Trump says he handpicked each photo and wrote every caption. A website for the book lists the retail price of $74.99. As we get closer to Thanksgiving, businesses and organizations in the Fargo-Moorhead area are looking for ways to give back to those in need, whether that's through money or providing meals. They are trying to do their part. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling has more.
It is Thanksgiving next week, and businesses and organizations in the Fargo-Moorhead area are pitching in to help those in need. One of those groups is the Joy Project. Now, while their main focus is on Christmas, they say that the collaborations between the different organizations is important in helping those in need.
Giving is contagious, and once you really get out there and realize what an impact you can have on people, you want to do more and you want to help more people. So a lot of times there is a lot of collaboration between organizations to make things work.
Shops like Holland's have jumped in as well, and they might not meet the people their donations help benefit, but in the end, it means a lot to them to know someone will have a hot meal when they need it most on Thanksgiving.
There's so many people in our community that need help, and we love to give back.
With the nation's supply chain struggling to get food and supplies out, it's even more important now to give back to the community.
Yeah.
All right, we're having some technical difficulties with that. But anyway, one lucky NDSU Bison football fan has a reason to smile tonight after she won some cold, hard cash. During today's game, the NDSU Teammakers 50-50 giveaway set an all-time record at more than $197,000, meaning half went to whoever held the winning ticket. The winner was Carol McHenry. She won a little over $98,000. The record amount was due in large part to the last Bison home game when no one came forward to claim their winning shares. Later on Valley News Live at 10. Tips you can use if your pet ever escapes your home this winter. But first, Summer's It next with the latest details for your weather for this upcoming Thanksgiving week.